Greetings once more, travelers. Well, we've run into an interesting part of the story. Captain Yaalkol's ancestry. Which you might be saying, this sounds very strange. And it does. But there's more to it than that. And perhaps you'd want to listen and learn. For knowing things is oftentimes a root of both possible danger, but also can relieve a person of many of their angers. The question is, what will this knowledge do for Yaalkol? Learning the truths. Well, that's something that if you want to learn, I'd sit down, listen in, and enjoy more of me tale. Oh god, that's not correct either. Fix that in a second. I really like how the screen I had up was very light, nice and illuminating, and then it like finally loaded in something, so then it went dark, because I have it in dark mode, so it actually loads up. So I just all of a sudden went, woo! Yeah, hi everybody, welcome. I had to reset my system, because I'm having some kind of weird error where OBS wasn't working at all. So, I'm still resetting some things. It'll pop up in a second. But in the meantime, welcome to Buccaneers the Shackled Sea. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday evening. Yes, if you missed last week, the amazing adventures of going and looking for Yaalkol's grandparent were successful?
Mistakes were made.
Well, I mean, yeah, successful.
This is what we're sticking with. Successful. It sounds nice. So, yes, there was a journeying around the shackles, chasing down where Yaalkol's grandparent was, finding them, and beginning a conversation. That will totally be a wonderful conversation where Yaalkol will learn all the answers to all the questions he's ever had.
Even the meaning of life?
No, I don't think he's ever had that question.
I don't know if Yaalkol could ever comprehend that.
This is accurate.
Yaalkol has comprehended.
I mean,
that
he
question.
died.
He knows
so
what his meaning is.
Violence, apparently.
It is violence.
I mean, in the last session, he was enthralled by all the courses, and he learned to pour tea and be very graceful. So I don't know, maybe he's like Aisha.
No, he has a meaning. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm just sort of standing there, doing my normal Yaalkol 1,000-yard stare at this woman.
Right now, I guess, is the question.
We all little dragon guys, right? Like everyone's in their human form.
Oh yeah, everybody's human here.
Okay.
We're all human here.
Or humanoid, I should say at least.
First of all, I'm a half-elf. How dare you?
There's 2 humans here.
So what was the last thing she said?
I'm going to be honest. I cannot for the life of me remember.
Okay, so then basically,
I'm
I'm just gonna we'll just start from the effective beginning of the conversation. When I say, I'm looking for my dad, your son.
It's unfortunate that that's a little bit of a difficult question if you are a progeny of my loins, so to say. I have many that I have, in fact, engaged in creating over the many years.
Terog of the Blackened Scales is the name.
Thank you. I couldn't get it to load.
Yeah. I got you, buddy. I got the notes
Thank you, So I say, I'm looking for Terog. Calls himself Terog of the Blackened Scale.
Oh! Well then. Well, that's an entirely different issue. Perhaps we should discuss this over tea?
Yeah, sure.
Do we have tea? The shadowy, like, guy will kind of, like, shrug. The half-orc will kind of, like, shake his head a little bit, like, I do believe we have some tea. Let me go brew some. This way. And we can discuss. What sort of physical abilities do you have? And can I investigate, have a scale sample, perhaps? I'd like to see how much of my magical abilities have transferred over you directly. Do you have any magical abilities?
I just look at her. And then unerringly, still just doing the 1,000-yard stare thing. I'll just reach down to my hand and I will just rip out the scale, which I will hand to her.
Thank you.
Then I will say, no magic.
You breathe fire.
I can, and then I'll just breathe fire into the air. Just
Be careful of the curtain.
I just cough and a bunch of smoke comes pluming out.
Or the sails that's on a ship.
And do that like.
It's fascinating to find out that the third generation at least retains some ability connections to fire.
Yeah.
Any other elements in particular, or just fire?
That's fire. I don't say heat doesn't really bother me either. Like,
I guess that's an after result of my current predicament, but we'll discuss that.
I can still be burned. I found out. It just has to be something really hot.
Interesting. This way, please. There'll be rather than an actual honestly a cabin that someone would stay in. It seems just to be a little room where there seems to be a couple of chests around, a table, a little cooking area, all kinds of strange and weird knickknacks and items, some of which look like they probably are valuable, others of which do not, are spread throughout the room. And they do seem divided up vaguely, about 4 different sets of them.
Hey,
I am going to allow... Is anybody following? Who's,
Sure, yeah.
Yaalkol won't call for anyone to follow, but he also won't object to anyone following. He's too focused.
I don't recall. We're all there, right, from last session?
Yeah, everyone's here.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely follow, because I'm curious.
To Misty, this feels like a Yaalkol thing, and she's just gonna bounce.
Okay.
I'm a Yaalkol translator, so I have to go.
Yeah,
in case he needs a translation.
Misty's had enough of this.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
muted?
can't... You're muted, Joe.
Off with
Still
Misty
muted.
because
Oh, You're back, man.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah,
I'm gonna
There's
head
a
off
delay.
with Misty because I don't have a stake in this really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
I
met
didn't either.
everyone not that long ago.
Hey man, I'm
Look,
meeting
I
my
feel-
grandpappy for the first time.
I
know we
feel
met
like
couple
it's a
weeks ago.
very
Would you like
Jacub
be
thing to
involved?
be the person that actually comes along other than
Jacob's gonna be the
translator.
really awkward third.
Well, this
Absolutely.
makes sense. This is
I'm going to
intriguing.
help Yaalkol.
Like every time somebody moves, I'll be writing it down. Oh, the guy
I'll just
took 4 steps to the
pat,
left.
As I leave, I'll just pat Yaalkol on the shoulder. Oh, I did my part.
So,
I nod. And
Revia.
say thank you.
I will allow you to roll something here. Can you roll me a knowledge religion check?
Oh, I'm actually proficient in that, so yes.
Okay.
All
All right.
9.
I
I assume it's divided in 4 because it's 4 dragons.
There does seem to be something about some of the areas of these things that it looks like at least part of them are built in such a way that look almost like shrines. So it looks like maybe each of the dragons follows some kind of deity, but you don't recognize anything about it, and it's very haphazard. So it does seem like there is something to it that has a religious connotation. You just don't understand it at all. It's like it might just be that something personal about it or something, it's very unusual.
Yeah, best not to pry into dragon business.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you have a lot of questions, and I perhaps have answers that can help you with. But bringing the fact it's more than just being a descendant of mine that you're bringing up Terog, there's different answers, perhaps, that I would need to give you. Unfortunately. Or fortunately for you. That's a tough one on that.
All right. Well, gotta be honest. I'm kind of interested in this, so I'll play.
Where to start is a good question.
I have a question.
Let's start with that. Let's have you ask questions, and I will give my answers. And if there's matters that I have to elaborate on, perhaps that will bring up some of the other topics that need to be discussed.
At this point, as they say something, I'll go up to Yaalkol and like, hey, Captain. I know it sounds super inappropriate, so I'm gonna ask you first because I'm trying to figure out if like this is like super personal or not. But if I have questions, could I ask you to ask those questions?
I think that's really weird. You could probably just talk to her. Like
I know.
Jacob, what's wrong with you? Just
Okay,
ask
you don't
the
know that.
question.
I whispered this, okay?
I'm sitting next
No,
to
that
Yaalkol.
Yaalkol will say that his response very loudly.
I assume we're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like right next to Yaalkol, and then you're whispering into his
Yeah,
ear.
Yaalkol like leans down because I imagine like Jacob like taps him and he'll lean over and like listen and he'll like nod, and then Yaalkol will sit up and think for a moment and then turn and be like, "You could just talk to her. It's probably more normal."
I mean, like, would it have been more strange if I just started asking questions during this? I know I'm here, but
yeah, but
like,
I feel like you should probably just. Anyway, he
always
wanted
ask
to
a
ask a question, but let me do my thing first. Anyways, so, what did you do with my dad exactly?
The thing is, your father was certainly a... From my statements earlier, are you aware of why I've had a lot of children?
I assume you're doing some sort of like science thing. It's a word I have a hard time with bigger words. Experiment, right? Right, Revia? Right?
Yes.
You're correct.
You said the word correctly.
Well,
All right.
that is
so,
both a yes and a no. I will give you the real reason as to why I would have given birth to your father along with anyone else. So the first reason was, of course, yes, I'm interested in spreading my own bloodline and how dragons, in their magical nature, can have children with many, many other species. And seeing the results of these children is a fascinating thing for me. Because of previous natures, which I will get into in the future, I tend to not choose one specific form, and so I find appropriate forms for virile specimens of various species and have children with them. Mainly humanoid-type species, but I've experimented with various other types. There are some extremes that I'm against going against, but this is only one of 3 reasons. The second, of course, would be a little bit more prudent, and it is something I must confess, as one that finds... This might sound very terrible from a grandparent of yours, but I do very much enjoy the cardinal activities.
I don't really know what that means, but cool. It's
nice to get laid.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. It's not really my thing.
It tends to be one of the very few activities that still interests me in the material world. The third is something that perhaps we'd have to go back in time about, is the third is to see if any spark of power can be passed along that I may not retain anymore.
Okay, so you're trying to have kids that maybe have some bit of the powers you're losing?
Lost. In a
Already
way.
gone. Okay.
Yes.
Just from like getting older? Is that like something that happens to dragons?
Don't they get more powerful as they age?
We do. And all of us here are very powerful. We would be considered great worms. Apologies.
I think you're pretty great.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Eldest and most powerful forms of dragons, and the three compared traits here. I guess allow me to introduce the only one that seems to have taken an interest in this conversation. Sunstra, the sky dragon. As you know, I am gold. That's the half-orc. As he kind of pours you some tea. He's like, yeah.
Thanks.
The other two, which seem to be less interested in us, are also powerful dragons in their own rights. The thing is, this is a hard thing to talk about because it's unfortunate that I don't know if you'd understand it necessary. Are you aware of much information based upon the Age of Serpents in times past?
Age of Serpents, like how old they get? I'm 17.
That'd be a history check for anybody that wants to.
I'm looking at Jacob.
I'm gonna Jacob's gonna be like Age of Serpents. Like,
you are aware that that is an ancient time period. It is one of the earliest time periods in Galarian history. It predates any actual civilizations.
If I recall correctly, that's like when the dragons and dragonkind kind of like ruled this area.
Yes, and a large amount of serpent folk too. Those were the main humanoids.
Like the Naga?
yourself.
Yes. Oh, Yuanti? Do you have
that? Serpent folk are the Pathfinder version of Yuanti, basically.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm aware. My character isn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
I'm not aware. So, if you don't mind me asking, then, so you're a great worm who's lived quite. Are you experiencing? I know you're supposed to get stronger the older you get, due to your, what I would imagine, sorcerer's nature, right? But do you find it that as you get older, you are less likely to retain certain aspects of your magical being, I guess? I'm not sure. Like, are you losing strength?
No. So the three of us are effectively immortal. We can still be physically killed, but we don't age anymore from where we're at. The four of us. This was made in a deal when we allowed our reincarnation with Pharasma.
Okay. So, like, you made, like, a deal with, like, a god to not die?
Well,
Dying's not that bad. Like, there's a dude, the dude's kind of creepy, but he gives you a watch, and then you get to come back.
Cool, your experience is not everyone's. We've been through
also,
this.
Pharasma is a woman.
Oh, that was a woman? I didn't see the face. I just
You
assumed.
probably only met with a servant of
Revia
Pharasma, which is also
keeps telling
interesting
me.
information, which honestly brings up a lot more to talk about here, too. So, the thing about the four of us is, we are what we would like to call in your vernacular, former deities.
So you're like, you used to be gods?
Full deities or like demi?
Actual deities, dragon gods from during the time of serpents.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Was that fun?
Yes, but an ancient curse by the hated resulted in some dangerous things happening when the long before the Earthfall, there was still a lot of battles with the Algolthius. And, well, an ancient curse by the Algolthius, in attempts to battle against us with their own magics and take control of even the age during that time, meant that our existences were not like what we would enjoy. That's hard to describe. Things changed in a very dramatic and unfortunate way. And, we discovered the only way to survive was to effectively die. But the death of a deity is a very dangerous thing. So we made a deal with Pharasma. Hence why the third version of my thing is to see if a spark of divinity still exists within my spawn. Perhaps one of them can reawaken the powers that I still technically have, yet don't have.
So, can I ask then?
A new living deity? There have been some that have been born since then. Why not another? You'd be interested.
Are you
So-
looking to take that spark from somebody
my-
else?
Dad?
No. But your dad, in his own right, it seems as though he had a spark of something that was not quite divine, but something else. And, he unfortunately, unfortunately, also made an interesting deal with Pharasma. And it seems as though the Lady of Graves has also made some form of deal with you. 3 generations and 3
really-
deals that I do not know if they work together. But the Mistress of Graves is a very unusual one and has her own as one of the eldest deities in all of Galarian, if not the eldest. Death has existed since the beginning. Since before we understood our existence as deities over mortal creatures.
Okay. Alright, that's a lot to take in. So, my dad made a deal with Death Lady,
For us,
and we don't know if his deal is kind of like your deal where he can't. But that means I could probably still kill him if I hit him with a hammer, though, right? Because you could die if I hit you with a hammer. I'm
We
not
are
going to.
incredibly powerful abilities, and we usually travel in all 4 of us, so technically it would require something of incredible strength to defeat all 4 of us, but yes.
But it's physically possible, is what I'm asking. And obviously, I'm not trying to. I'm just more for. I'm going to kill my dad, so I need to make sure that's possible.
Before you would go about killing him, it might be prudent to, in fact, communicate with the bearer of both your deal and his.
Which would mean I probably have to die first, right? Or is there another way to talk to her?
No.
There
you
are
can find,
multiple
like, a
ways to talk to her.
cleric.
Probably the easiest would be to travel to her realm and try to speak with her, but then you'd have to hope that she would give you the time of day, so to say.
We also don't have that magic available to us.
Yeah, how do you get to her realm? Is that like a spell or something?
There are spells which allow planar travel.
Jacob, can you do that?
You can't. I don't think. Can you do that?
I mean, I know of the spell. I don't know the incantations, but if you give me some time, I can figure it out, I would imagine.
Oh wow, it's actually a low-level cleric spell.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. I don't know what gods give, but yeah, you can probably do it too.
Granted, directly accessing her domain is different than just entering the realm which her domain is within.
Yeah, that's not possible. But we
Yeah.
can find a cleric to facilitate the communication, though. I'm sure.
So. Okay. Well, that at least gives me something to work with. Do you happen to know where he actually physically is, though?
Unfortunately, that's not something I can assist you with. It is very hard to keep track of all of my spawn.
I imagine, and honestly, I wasn't really expecting you to know exactly, but this was helpful, so thanks, and I'll be glad to answer whatever questions you have.
What happened when you approached death?
So I'm going to tell you it from when I remember exactly, just because it's easier that way. It's hard to remember the whole thing. Whenever I remember it, it's in fractions. So I remember falling, and then I remember black, and then I was somewhere in between. and there was someone else. They were cloaked. And they extended a hand to me. In that hand, there was this. And I'm going to produce the, crap. The compass. He gave me this.
Fascinating.
I'll extend it.
Artifact.
Do you know what it is?
Off the top of my head, no. She's gonna kind of like look it over and kind of like click through it. Like can we move her hand like if she's like casting like some minor magics or something on it to like look out of it.
I can mess with it, and sometimes when I'm close to like something magical, it will point me to it. But it's only like sometimes. Weird.
Does seem to be the bigger part of something more powerful.
Do you have any idea why he gave it to me? I didn't like ask for a deal. I just kind of died.
Your relation to a former god might be the little link there, Yaalkol.
Yeah, but like I'm not really special. I'm just some guy.
Yaalkol.
An
you hit
artifact
things
of
really
this power is not normally put in the hands of mortals. And I can guess it was put in your hands for a reason.
Okay. I guess I'll still have to figure what that is. Do you know what Pharasma is about? Like, obviously death, but like, do you know like her agenda? I'm used to dealing with people who have agendas.
Pharasma's agenda is exactly what it seems like. Life and death.
So does Pharasma like want everything to die, or do things to keep living and dying? Like
It's
a
literally
cycle kind of thing?
judge.
it's natural order, I would say.
Okay.
All things that are destined to die must die.
Okay.
For dragons such as ourselves, even before our side effect of our reincarnation of seeming immortality that has given us thousands of more years of existence, traditionally most dragons could live to unknown ages. Just things usually happen at older ages that it's hard to explain.
Well,
You also have to understand that Pharasma is the oldest being in the universe, our known universe. From what even we of the Divine understand, she is a being that existed perhaps before all of creation came about. From what we know from the age of creation, from before us, two beings, herself and another, were the anchors that created everything in the known universe.
do you think Pharasma made death, or you think people died before and Pharasma just decided to sort of shepherd them? Kind of weird, right?
I think people died before. I mean,
Well, so Pharasma existed before people.
well, yeah, but this. I
So
mean,
I'm asking.
I think yes.
I feel like death is just like a thing that happens. though.
It's like
Like,
how
it's
we
kinda
cool,
breathe,
then.
you know?
You know, like
she's just sort of been around, and then now she's just helping people who die. That's pretty cool.
Captain, I think
Well,
you're.
I don't, she doesn't really help people. She just kind of judges. So like, if bad people, you know, do some like fucked up shit, they go to hell, which is a pretty horrible place to go.
Oof. Well, that's not good to find out. I guess it's
Yeah,
good that they sent me back here. there were.
Oh, you
there were a lot
probably
more-
wouldn't go there. You You know the
I
maelstrom.
feel like you're probably being for other
you've been.
stuff.
I gotta be honest. You've been around me. I'm not going to it. If there's a nice place, I'm not going there.
Oh no, none of us are going there. Okay, I'll try to get you to join me with Vesmire. Okay.
Okay, at the very least, I will say that if we're not going to a nice place, we're not going to a bad place either. It's like halfway in between.
Oh,
So, sorry, back on topic.
that's very, very unimportant. So, yeah. Well, I guess if you don't know where he is, that was what I was looking for here. But you've given me a lot to think about. I guess.
I might
What's your
ask-
deal here?
Well, I can answer that. Honestly, it was getting a hold of the Orb of Dragonkind that was being for sale there. If you're unaware that the orb for sale was indeed that, and the unfortunate thing about an Orb of Dragonkind is it's very dangerous to be in the hands of your average mortal, and because, honestly, the four of us end up acting as a sort of pseudo-providence over dragon affairs from indirectly, well, thought to remove it from the public. We had an opportunity to do such things like that. We might not have the ability to effect major changes, as we are still powerful beings, but we are much more mortal than we once were. We can still have an effect that would be positive on all dragonkind, and of course on the mortal realms. As much as leaving something of that power in the hands of mortals would be appropriate since they already had it, your average humanoid might abuse it, and things might go badly with such abuse. They have in past times.
Is there any reason you can't destroy it?
Artifacts like your compass, particularly, are hard to destroy. Ones as much powerful as your compass or an orb of dragonkind are even more difficult to destroy.
Understood. Okay.
Perhaps if we had divine abilities, as we once did, we might be able to destroy it more directly. We might be able to understand how to destroy it. But similar to having lost a lot of that, much of the expanded knowledge, like understanding the nature of its destruction with just looking at it, eludes us nowadays. As if half our memories are gone.
Sorry that happened to you.
Well, even amongst everything, at very least, we can say that we were somewhat successful. Our battle against the Gothulus did end up in keeping them weakened enough that during the Age of Legends, their attempts to destroy all the Galarian failed.
So,
Unfortunately, it was up to other gods to save the world than us, but still. God. The term Algothulus, if any of you have knowledge dungeoneering, would be okay to roll.
aha, my time has finally come.
Yaalkol is just.
I'm thinking of anything else.
Nodding along to whatever this person is saying, and
If
then
it's not
asking a couple
religion, I
questions.
can't roll.
4. Oh, I hate this rules. God.
So to explain why Yaalkol is asking these weird philosophy questions, he's decided this is the smartest person he's ever met because of how old she is. So now he's just asking stupid things.
Well,
he
that's
thinks smart
Jacob
people
just
would know.
insulted now at this point. Oh,
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
think
he's not saying
the
this out
dragon
loud.
is
He's just,
smarter than you. Let's be clear.
You probably don't know a lot, but you've heard the term. I'll spell this out in trap because it is a hard. Algolthu, spelled like that. You will know. Is a species of creatures you have. Is Jacob around to encounter that?
Jacob was not.
Jacob was not. But you've probably mentioned that you encountered one to Jacob before.
It was probably mentioned that Misty did 1v1 one, yeah.
Yeah.
Aboleth?
An aboleth is one of them. They're the like specific breed of creatures that aboleth come from. Aboleth are known as Athagulu Masters, are actually what they are called. Aboleth, the actual word, if you understood their language, means owner, master, or god in the Aboleth language. So that's basically what they call themselves.
Yeah, I remember. I failed my will
Wow.
save like
I
7
was
times in a
worried
row.
Yeah, you got fucked.
I failed so many will saves.
You crit Yaalkol and almost killed him.
That was insane.
I mean,
He
I had a
went
15
fucking wild on me.
I had a 15
Oh.
range.
Oh,
The
Only
only
Wait.
held down the fort. Yeah. So,
The only time you can roll is against Yaalkol.
Yeah, I literally always miss attacks, except
I-
against there.
don't know if any would know. You could follow up with questions here, but I don't think any of you would know the knowledge that, like, what they're talking about. So, yeah, Jacub, you know that, like, basically, the race of beings Ablis came from apparently both cursed it and also apparently tried to destroy the world during the Age of Legends. Roll a history check on that one. Okay. The only thing that happened during the Age of Legends was Earthfall that threatened to destroy the world. This is knowledge you did not have, that the Aboleths tried to cause Earthfall.
Oh wow. Okay, that's
We just basically this person's dropping unknown knowledge, and my dumbass is like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But Jacub can recognize it.
seriously
This
writing
is
down.
this is the thing that, like,
It's hitting Revia like a.
and the thing
That's
is,
cool.
that's the thing is, no one will ever believe you. There's no evidence of this. According to what people know, Earthfall was just a big old meteor that tried to threaten the world.
Well,
Okay, so like the weird, horrible, mind-controlling creatures are horribly evil. Who would have thought, right? Like,
Is there any way for me to like to minor illusion my comprehension helmet into like a tinfoil hat, really quick?
I will actually though allow Revia. You, if Jacub, do you say anything about this, or like, you know?
I will. I subscribe down. I'll go. Wait, so you're telling me that the Alguthal, the Aboleths, are responsible for essentially trying to take the world down during the Age of Legends? And as I say that, hopefully.
whoa.
Yes.
Aboleth?
Huh?
I fought one of those. Well, more Misty.
Well, I almost
fought
killed
one of
you.
those while you stabbed me.
I mean-
it was an off day,
It,
except for me stabbing you.
I mean, it
to
was
put
off
it-
day for me because I was getting stabbed. You were fine.
I
because
was
you were
mind
stabbing.
controlled. It was dominating me mentally.
I guess to put it in perspective, these things are so old that they have this weird thing where I remember saying that they remember everything that their past selves have done, including their like ancestors. So like they're old,
Mhm.
and they know a lot of things, and it's kind of terrifying.
Why was it
Yeah.
just chilling in his ship underwater then? That was a little weird of it.
I don't know.
I mean, the problem with all these things, this is why I always say, everything that tells you that it's a god is lying to you, because
Well,
even
Pensar's
gods
a
can
god.
even
Yes.
gods can bleed.
you realize these guys just told you they're gods, right?
I'll tell you, Jacub. You probably understand that. Regardless if the Gothalus, the Aboleths were responsible for Earthfall, things went wrong for them.
Who
Like,
would have thought?
you know, it turned because like their civilizations fell too, because they had civilizations deep at the bottom of the sea, which should have been out of the way of their plan to annihilate the landmass by throwing a gigantic meteorite into it. Their plan was to hide in the deep trenches. It turns out, when a rock shatters into a bajillion meteorites, some of those fall into deep trenches then.
Ooh,
Who
you
would have
hate to
thought
see it.
dropping giant asteroids on a planet would fuck up the whole planet?
I mean, it's technically worse. Information you guys don't know, it was technically, like, poisoned with, like, nuclear magical radiation.
Fucking god.
Yeah, It was basically a magical resurrection, which
The most ableth plan I've ever
You'll
never
heard.
forget. Listen. As is always said, Pathfinder Galarian is literally a post-apocalyptic world. The shackles only exist because Earthfall shadowed it into isles. Like, shit's fucked, okay?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Something that Revia might know if you roll really high
try.
on religion, if you want to try.
I fail. Oh, I rolled a
26.
19. That's literally about as high as you can get. I can only get one higher.
26 isn't bad either. You might know the basic stories then. Would you know this bit of information? You wouldn't know the names, but the stories are from Earthfall. Two Aslanti deities stood up for all of humanity and the world itself and sacrificed themselves in order to try to stop Earthfall. One of them basically pulled the moon from orbit to try to intercept the meteorite. Half worked. It shattered it into 1,000 pieces. And the other one absorbed the magical radiation into its being in order to kill it. In order to make them just flying death rocks instead of radioactive flying death rocks.
So, let me ask, was it a spell plague in Pathfinder?
It kind of was. Except it was technically stopped. You know, the one basically freaking drew all the horrible magic into himself to prevent it from, and basically made the rocks inert from being like, you know, horrible death magic radiation. And the other pulled a moon in the way, but unfortunately in the middle of doing that had to have its physical form there. So when the thing shattered in 1,000 pieces, was basically skewered with 1 billion of them. That's information you don't know. So the one was just skewered to bits, and the other one then sacrificed itself because it was technically the lover of the one that skewered itself to, like, you know.
At least the gods did do something to protect the world.
They did, you know.
Literally one job. They get infinite power and they have to fucking sacrifice themselves one time to save the entire world.
Still destroyed the Aslant continent, which was the entire plan because the meteorite was aimed for Aslant continent because the Aslanti were real dicks to the Algoth.
Well, let's be fair. The Apple people deserved it.
They did.
Yeah.
All right, let's not mince words, okay? They're horribly evil creatures.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know, there's this one story I heard that explained the parts of that I know.
Mm-hmm. Which counteracts the one said that two other gods did what they could not do then, and, you know, prevented the end of the world. So, I mean, that also fits.
But
So,
back on what we're trying to do, though. So, like,
where's your dad?
oh,
We don't know.
Do you have
Okay.
scrying, Jacob?
No, I don't.
I imagine isn't there a way, like, make yourself, like, you can't be that?
Well, but he would need like an item or something, or right. So like that's a good try.
It's worth a try. You're right.
But we can try that after we deal with Harrigan.
Yeah, this isn't important right now. I can deal with this later. I was just curious if you knew. Well, this is really interesting, and you've given me a lot to think about. Can I come back and talk to you sometime, or are you gonna like leave?
We do tend to travel around, but if you
We have an island. You can stop by.
I can stop by occasionally, I guess.
And this
Please.
quarters downstairs, so if you want to bang, go ahead, I guess. I don't...
What?
Yeah, we have quarters downstairs, right? Like, that's what they do.
Jade.
No, we
If you
hire
ever
them
want to
just
come
to
to
be.
the
They're just
you're-
like servants for the house, for the.
If you ever want to come to the Isle of Empty Eyes, feel free to stop in. You and your friends are always welcome. I hold dominion over that island. Actually, I'm on the Pirate Council, too.
Fascinating. I have been thinking. She's going to turn towards the half-orc man and be like, do you think she would be appropriate to speak to. Reaching out to a lesser being would be more prudent, and though it does not normally pertain, his soul is perhaps juvenile enough. Sunstra will just kind of laugh for a second. You are insane, as I have always known you to be. He's going to put your hand on your shoulder. Perhaps
My shoulder?
your shoulder. Perhaps the other suggestion would be smarter than what she's about to give you.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Well,
Don't kill him.
it's not killing you, but there is one amongst Pharasma's court which might be useful. And though you probably fall outside of her normal jurisdiction, it's more than likely she's aware of the travel to the realm beyond and back. You'll dip in the river of the Boneyard.
Okay. Who's this?
Atropos.
Okay.
It might be easier to summon her rather than attempting a direct audience with the Mistress of the Boneyard. That provides more dangers still yet, because you will be interrupting her work, which will be very rude, but if anybody has her mother's ear, it would be the youngest daughter of Pharasma.
Oh, it's worth a shot.
And unlike her mother, she is not full divine, meaning that powerful magics to summon outsiders would perhaps call her.
Right. Thank you.
Can I ask what
How
tier?
would we summon that?
There are two
Yeah.
ways. There's a planar summoning kind of thing, or honestly, if one of you gets a hold of a gate scroll, you could actually just
Yeah.
call a specific outsider
Yeah.
with gate.
Yeah, these are like insanely high level spells, not something you know.
You
I think-
can probably find one in a town like Cough Cough, good old Port Peril. You might be able to
Level
find.
9 scrolls might
No
not
way.
exist in Port Peril.
The highest I have is 7 months or 5.
Like these are.
Can you summon something that has gate with 7 months or 5?
No.
No.
There is an option that I just thought of that you might know. You know
Yeah,
someone
the
with
inevitable.
a planar portal.
We asked the inevitable to do it.
I mean, you could try talking. The inevitable actually might help you because they're very order based, and honestly, it is the natural order of the world.
Can I always ask what's the GD girl's name? Sorry, I'm the
Who has the portal? I don't remember who has the portal.
I don't know either.
Huh?
You have a married friend who can cast plane
Oh.
shift at will.
Oh, that's right.
Jacob's girlfriend. We can ask her, I guess.
I don't want to pick up girlfriends.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
got a
first
couple.
of all, we're just really good friends, okay? How dare you?
You literally tried to wish her to be your girlfriend, Jacob.
See, that's the thing, though. You don't wish for that. You just let them do
But
it. by
you
their own foot.
tried.
No, I didn't. I never not once did I try.
You thought of it,
Okay, I thought about it 3 times. That's about it.
and you said it out loud. I guess you could try
You
that.
can reach the boneyard from the astral plane, and she can take you to the astral plane.
That sounds insane. That sounds insane. But okay.
The thing is, the thing that someone on a boat was on is called the River of Souls. It's an actual thing, and it goes
it was
through the
Terra,
astral plane to the boneyard. So you can try.
Yeah, but he was dead.
He
There's a
was-
difference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen. We do that when at least one of us has plane shift, so we can get back on our own will. Okay.
I'm not saying that that's the best idea.
That
It's
sounds
a
terrible.
possible idea.
All this is telling me is that I can't go after my dad for a couple levels.
No. Well, your dad we can find with like a scrying spell, maybe, or.
Well, we can
other-
find him, but I don't think we can kill him yet. I think she told us that he has a deal with Pharasma. I don't know what the deal is, and so that's why we're going after this person, so we can figure out
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
deal is and maybe kill him off.
She basically warned you that it might be dangerous to just kill him with the deal in place because he might not die, or
Yeah.
you might irk off Pharasma because Pharasma basically made a deal with him for him to help out with something, and as long as he's doing it, he's on her good side kind of thing.
So
Which
I
being
want
on
to
the-
figure out what he's doing for her, and then just do it instead. That way, we can basically, undercut him, and then
Yeah. So let's
murder
wait till
his ass.
level 13 is when we can maybe start doing this. I get plane shift then. Okay.
Yeah, I was expecting this. We were gonna have to wait a little bit for this, so I say, all right. It sounds like this means that my plans are gonna be on hold for a bit, but I can wait. Waited this long. But did you have any questions for me? Anything else? I gave you my scale and whatever.
I can investigate that, but would it be possible to investigate your aura?
Is it aura?
Sure. What does that entail?
Well, traditionally, most magical-based creatures have an aura, or magicians have one particular, and just a little bit of a leftover from our divine abilities is we can read magic a little different than your average mortal. In terms that perhaps your friends would understand, kind of functions like detect magic jacked up to a higher level.
To like a 5th level detect man.
All right.
I would
well,
describe
sure.
this like, you know how like a fire, once it's like, you get close to it, it's kind of hot, but the stronger the fire, the further away you can feel the heat. Same thing with auras, kind of, sort of.
okay.
I know. I project an aura.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, you do.
I
Okay.
don't think I'm gonna have one. I can't cast like spells or nothing.
No, but you've already been dead once, and there is a mystical nature to you. Your ability to breathe fire and resistance to the fire-based element are seen as signs of that.
Interesting. Okay.
There could be possibilities to awaken stronger abilities too, but honestly, I'm not quite sure how the process would go about. Naturally. Perhaps through some form of ritual or magic, you could awaken more powerful draconic abilities in your blood, or perhaps you could find out more about your abilities. You seem to be a much more unique case than your average half-dragon, as you are weaker than a half-dragon, but you seemingly have strange bits of potential.
Okay. I don't know. That sounds good. Well, it's been really nice meeting you. It's been really weird meeting you. It explains a lot. And, thanks. Stand up. And I'm gonna go leave.
I guess if you want to call me something, I guess you can call me... I think I'm your granddad? I think.
Grand Dragon. That's easier.
Grand person.
Grand Dragon.
I wanted to be exact, but I'm unsure. I have to remember. Yes.
We'll ask Yaalkol's dad when we kill him.
Not really important to me.
He'll remember.
sometimes there are individuals that find that important, so that's why I wanted to specify. I can understand if you don't find it important, that happens, but still.
Listen, I don't know how many of people like me, like kids of your kids that you've met, but me and my dad didn't exactly have like a good thing. And
You are, in fact, the first that I've actually met that is a grandchild.
Well, my dad had 2 others. They're both in the wind. I think my brother's in the place where there's always revolutions going on. That's what my sister said. Everyone's always getting hanged. I don't know. That's what she says. I don't know what that means. And my sister is a diplomat. I don't know where she is. She won't tell me.
Interesting. Well, I'll keep in mind your, your island and such. Perhaps we'll meet again soon. Hopefully.
Maybe. Don't wait too long. I don't know if I live as long as you do. And I get into fights a lot, so I might die. So in case I don't meet you again, it was nice.
Same.
And I'm gonna leave.
Okay. And I will tell you, just because I did look it up, if you're just hiring a spellcaster, there are people in Port Peril that can cast 8th level spells. Just straight up. So the possibility of having a 9th level scroll does exist. So if you want to
might exist.
So if you want to
But
look
you
for
need to be
gate,
9th level to have a scroll, right? But you know,
I mean,
that's an
technically
option to
speaking,
think about.
you can use it. Remember, you can do the caster level.
I know. I can't. There's a chance I fail on a natural 1 because there's always a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Does
I mean,
cast
do
gate,
you use spellcraft instead of cast level to cast the
No.
spell?
The thing with casting from a scroll is that it's a caster level check to cast, I think, or whatever. But if you fail to cast it, you must make a Wisdom check, DC 5. But you always fail on a 1. That's the concern. There might be feats that change it or whatever. That's the base rules from my memory, which is fallible. But
Well-
9th level scrolls are also oh, they're actually not that expensive.
No, Wish is expensive because it has material components.
Yes.
Uh,
Doesn't Gate have material
3,825. Gate might. Let me check. Gate does not.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Let-
this is actually feasible.
Oh, never mind.
I can pay for. Oh.
I think the gate that summons something.
Calling
has
a
it.
creature is 10,000 gold. So let's not. We're not doing that, boys. That's way too expensive.
Yeah, so laning 2 levels seems better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing something way more dangerous sounds more fun too.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Well,
So
let me ask.
I get plane shift at level. It's a 5th level cleric spell. And I get 5th level spells at level.
The thing is, like,
So we can try-
normally there's an HD hit point limit, but you can try to call something more powerful if you know its name. You just have to hope it's willing to listen.
Yeah, and when you do that, they can also come and just murder you. So let's be real, okay?
well, yeah, this is just super dangerous. We're going after a god's daughter, the god of
You're
death.
like, hey,
specifically,
yo,
daughter.
what's up, dog?
So let's be real. We're doing about
worry about
the
this
most
later.
dangerous
She
thing.
isn't a psycho comp usher, which are basically like the.
They're like, if Pharasma is like the judge of all judges, psychopomps are like the regional district judges for like the U.S. Like they're like, you know, like Pharasma is the
Oh,
supreme
no.
court.
Okay.
She's
I'm
gotta
gonna
get
tell
a
you,
commercial.
because you can
She's
probably
got a
look it up.
commercial.
Atropos is a psychocomp upsure that determines when each mortal will die and judges the most difficult souls, those of dead children. She's also known as the Judge of Judges, and only Pharasma has greater power in arbitration of the fate of mortals. So she's number 2 when it comes to the fate of mortals.
Well, I've still got to talk to her because I got to talk to Pharasma, and there's only one way that you get to somebody like that. All right.
Well,
What as we're like leaving, but after we've left like the general area, I forget like the lead up to this place. Where like
We're just on a dock.
we're in
yeah, okay,
Quent.
so,
We're in
yeah,
Quent
so
on a dock.
after we've like left the building and we're like walking back towards the ship, I give Revia like a little friendly push and say, Did you hear how she said it was fascinating that I was on Pirate Council? You hear that? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, sure.
Really cool. Said it's fascinating.
I
You know,
think it's
your,
awesome when your family approves of you.
Your parents weird.
Yeah. Now we gotta figure out how to kill my dad. Why does everyone make deals with with death? Like, did they just hand him out? Because like it literally,
No,
I just died
not
and they
usually.
just stuck a hand out. Like I didn't do anything.
They don't usually do that. It's just so you're aware, Yaalkol.
Yeah, I guess it's maybe because like my grand dragon was like
See,
friends with
it-
death
it
or
makes-
something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, I don't want to think about this until like later after we deal with our mortal problems of Harrigan.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I can think of is you actually do know someone else who made a deal with Phrasma. I think they survived the competition.
Who was
The
that?
dwarf.
Don't think
The
it was
one-
a dwarf.
The one who's got the coffin?
No. There was a ship called Phrasma's Price.
Yeah.
Did we ever interact with these people?
No.
Not directly. You knew of them.
I guess I can go find these people as a potential option.
Sir
I
Adeline
think we should at least
Gantry.
talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could also see if there's like a high level cleric of.
Oh, he did
Phrasma.
finish. Okay, I did. No, he finished. He didn't win, but he finished. So,
Well, yeah, we won.
Yeah.
I
Do
get
we,
things
um,
here.
you know,
Do we know if there's like a big church of Pharasma in the
There's not a lot of churches in general.
Yeah,
one of the
that's what I
major.
think.
There is a major shrine in Port Peril. There are
Okay.
two
Well,
shrines.
yeah.
There are two major shrines in Port Peril: Besmara and Phrasma. Besmara,
So-
Yeah.
obvious. Phrasma, also obvious. You know.
I gotta be honest. I'm sorry.
Like, basically, if a country exists in this world, there's a high chance there's a big shrine to Pharasma in it.
She judges it.
Everybody poops, everybody dies.
The priests of Phrasma are actually well known too because they officiate a lot of like funerals and deaths, and also they're some of the best midwives too because Phrasma's there with you when you're born and there when you die.
That's weird.
No, it's beautiful, man. I love Pharasma.
It's
My
poetic.
character, I think my character is slowly becoming a worshiper of Pharasma. Because
No, I
it's
must drag you
actually
to-
like Erik didn't know that she was older than living creatures.
Oh,
Because that's
yeah.
cool. Because that
She's
means
like
that she just
before the
stepped in
universe.
with living
No,
beings.
something that
Right,
none of you would know that's an
starting
interesting
them.
bit of information is she's actually training Atropus to be the next Pharasma when the multiverse ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man. Like,
So
you
she's-
said, that's
she-
a clear path to promotion. I love Pharasma. You
So,
see that?
you know, she's going to end with this multiverse, but when the next one begins, her daughter's going to take over the next multiverse.
You know, this is like a weird, like, the rich
Nepotism,
get
really.
richer situation. You know what I mean?
Nepotism.
Like, the great gods get greater.
No, that's not fair. These are literal fucking ancient beings of pure like creation magic.
Hey.
It's not
Hey.
nepotism when they create another version of themselves and say, "Hey, you get the next one."
you get the next one, dog. I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm kind of wiped from this one.
Well, I mean, like, all of time and space were created by two things: an outer god and Pharasma. Like,
also,
like
yeah,
Cthulhu's cousin basically created all of existence with Pharasma.
it's just fucking this wild god in Pharasma just.
And the Yog Sothoth, the outer god of gates, time, and space,
Amazing.
worked with Pharasma to create all of existence. It is
You wanna-
We'll take our break here, but
Yeah.
the cosmology of the Galarian universe, of the Pathfinder universe, is so weird and out there. Anyway, we're taking our break. We'll be back soon. We can enjoy more weird outer god stuff. one here, and this one here, and this button here, and welcome back. So, you've left your Grand Dragon in Quent to their own devices, and now where are you going?
Oh, well, first in Quent, we can figure out where Tritons might be.
Okay.
Because we need to find that out, and then we can...
Let's figure that out. Tritons. I have to figure out where they're at in general in Pathfinder, because I am, so... God, it's the time I need a inner sea map for once. The particular common in Arcadia, Emerald, Oikoya, as well as the Inner Shining and Shackled Seas. Okay. Which one is this? It's that one. Just trying to figure out which ocean is which. And where they are on the map.
We're technically in the Arcadian Ocean.
Alright, that's good to know.
The Arcadian Ocean is between Arcadia and Quend.
So, yeah. So you certainly there are populations of Tritons in there. There aren't a major known population in the Shackles, I will say. That's not something that is known. It doesn't mean there aren't Tritons in the Shackles, but true populations, you might have to go west of the Shackles to probably try your best to lure them out, honestly. A bit more open ocean. There are some Lakeliths within the Shackles, and Lakeliths are known to have alliances with Tritons. So you could try to find some Lakeliths and contact them.
Some what Lakeliths?
Lakoliths. Locathas. I never say their name. It's Locatha, really? Locatha. That one. They're fish people. You rescued one.
Oh.
Remember you rescued one from the Sohagen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say their name right.
Sahagin.
There isn't a proper way to say their name.
Seguinian.
I'm gonna kill all of you in game.
Sagahegan.
Sagahegan.
Thank you.
True.
Ken.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we know where those people are?
Sure. I gonna assume. Oh God.
We're. If it's known, we can find it.
I'll say there can be a known population of Lakeliths to the south of the Cannibal Islands, we'll say.
Cannibal Islands?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's actually good if the Tritons are there, because that's like literally on our way.
And though you'd have to figure out a way to contact them, but they would also maybe be able to get you directly in contact with Tritons, because yes, the Horn of the Tritons is useful, like, for alerting Tritons. They're like, hey, what's that noise? But, like, the thing is, they also have to be like, what's that noise? I'm going to investigate.
Well, but I feel like, do they know it's, like, the magical effect calling them? Like, I feel like, like...
Maybe?
Like, I feel like this is, like, a rare occasion that warrants investigation.
It very well could contact them enough for them to investigate.
Yeah, well, I guess we will go there. And we'll start trying to figure out if we can find any of these Lokatha.
Okay.
We probably should go to this town, Banukmud, and maybe they've spotted these creatures in an area, and then we can go there and we can do some free diving. AK, not free diving, because we'll use.
The other thing that you could attempt, the Lokatha, that's like certainly not a bad way of going, but also like you could contact Captain Mace Darmar. He is in contact with the Sea Elves. Now the thing is, it's sort of like you have a general area you know they're in. You still don't have an exact location. The only person that might have an exact location of a seagoing race is, of course, Captain Darmar, because he knows where the Sea Elves live.
I send the guy. I know him, so I can send him.
Yeah. Where's the Fever Sea on this map?
Fever Sea.
Okay, that's the one. It is the south one. That's on the edge of the counter. That's the one that the okay.
Fever Sea.
He would be willing to meet with you. Then I would say he is out.
There you go. We're looking for Telfenders, Sea Elves, or Tridents. The Alphas against Harrigan. You think you could help out? I got 2 more of these today.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what his response would be.
Yeah. I ended with I got 2 more, so he knows I can send another message.
Yeah.
It's only 25 words, so we got 75.
Come to Drenchport. I'll meet you there. We can speak.
Oh God, he's so cool, guys.
He's
wicked cool, mysterious, and like, come meet me here.
No,
I asked
Drenchport
him.
is pretty far away.
Yeah,
I asked him cold questions,
Yeah.
and then he hit me with the, "I'll meet you at Drenchport."
Yeah.
And I try to mimic his voice.
Okay, but you sound ridiculous.
I don't know. Listen. Sending makes everything sound cooler. Okay.
It's like the radio voice, you know, like.
It like rattles in your head. It's weird. It's hard to explain.
It's also
You have to get sending.
it's probably what they think their voice sounds like too.
So it's like
'Cause
a lot
kind
deeper.
of like through their own mind. It's like this is what my voice sounds like.
I feel like in my mind,
Where's
Jacob sounds like
Drenchport?
Val Kilmer.
Drenchport is all the way up here by Hell's Harbor, kind of.
It's on
Oh.
Tempest K.
Yeah. Literal other
God.
side of the shackles.
Well, right now you're in the middle of the Shackles at Quent, though.
Yeah. Do we want to do? I guess
Yeah.
you should do this. Good thing we have a fastest fuck boy ship.
You do. You have a fast as fuck boy
Yeah.
ship.
So Drenchport, away.
All right. You've been to Drenchport before. Not in a while, but you were once again returned
Yeah.
to Drenchport.
We investigated
That's
bed
the
people.
town where
That's right.
It's
That's
where
right.
the
Isn't there a
Grace
Grinner,
buddies-
right?
Yeah,
Is this where we got Grinner?
I think so, right?
Yeah. I think this is where we got Grinner.
Hey Grinner, you're home.
Dude's face was eaten.
Yeah. Grinner chews on some kind of bird that you're not sure where he got a hold of it.
Is Grinner the fish?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I was there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can teleport
There's some
there if
feathers
we want
sticking
to.
out of its mouth as it's chewing that you're not
Jacob,
sure where it came from.
We need the ship, Jacob. And then you can't teleport back to the ship. It's moving.
No, but we can go back to the island.
Yeah, but we need the ship.
But could be at the island.
We might need our ship when we get to the island.
Yeah, that's fair.
Teleportation works, Jacob, if we're not using our boat. But we're using a boat. You know?
I mean,
It's a ship, actually.
Okay, Jacob, I'm gonna string you up on the sails,
Technically,
okay?
if you just drop anchor and keep the ship there.
No, because the ocean's always moving you a little bit.
You'd
You're
still, end
swaying.
up on, you'd still end up on
Yeah,
the ship,
okay. Do
but-
you want to end up just, I don't know, teleporting to the bottom of the ocean? I don't know how it works. I'm not gonna trust that shit.
into the mast?
Like,
Dude, okay, well that's not good. I don't want that. Jesus Christ.
like, let's be real, okay? Teleporting onto a boat sounds like a terrible
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, like, most people, we don't need to teleport to everywhere. Everyone travels this roughly the same speed anyways.
And you know what? We can plunder on our way, okay? We need some money.
Yeah, I am broke as heckins.
What the hell did you just say?
Did you just say Heckins?
I did say heckins, yes.
What is a heck?
Jacob, are you like 12?
What does that mean?
It's
like
when no,
18
you want,
double
it's when you
hockey
don't.
sticks.
It's when you don't want to say hell because you're scared of a devil killing you.
I don't see anything wrong with saying heckin'.
I'm just saying, like, we're getting
You know
pretty
what?
close
I
to
respect
devils
that,
and like
Yaalkol.
babies.
Devil's
I
not
mean-
that bad.
I think everyone cusses too much as it is, so.
I don't know if you can say that. Yoko.
Cool doesn't actually curse that off.
Only when I'm real mad.
Which is awesome.
Aren't you
You know, it's only when
always
we're
really mad?
murdering things.
I basically only swear when he's in the middle of combat. I just don't act it out.
You know who swears a lot? I think it's Chester. You don't see it often because he mutters beneath his breath, but like he swears a
Yeah,
lot.
Chester's just over there. Why am I with these fucking idiots?
Hey,
No!
Chester's only winning, dude. He just joined us and got
Chester
the
did
pirate
show up
class.
and then got a seat on the council. Yeah.
He's taking some
Yeah.
W's.
It's
I'm just along for the ride and the benefits.
Yeah, you
On
got
the
a good
bennies,
benefits-
dude.
You had a good benefits package.
That's what it is right now. It's like, okay, well, sweet. I joined your crew and became a pirate lord. That's awesome. Can't complain.
When
You guys
you
aren't like killing everything in sight, and you're not a bunch of jerks, so all wins.
everything's coming up, Chester.
I just sit here and like, okay, if there's something I can, piece in on, I say my piece and then trade back into the background.
All right. So,
Goals.
important life goals. All right. So you've arrived at Drenchfort, and certainly it doesn't take you long to find the Wavecrest. Of course, Mace's ship in dock. When you arrive at the ship, kind of giving hails to it, actually Mace will come out to greet you rather than anybody else, and will kind of jump off the side down there. They didn't have a plank down at the time. They were kind of just looked like they were kind of hanging out in dock, but hadn't were set maybe to set sail, and he'll kind of like take a look over at you and kind of like motion for you to follow.
I follow.
I'll also follow, I guess.
I will follow too. Why not?
Samesies.
Maybe you need someone to dance for them.
Chester's just like a normal dude. In this
Yes,
chaos.
he's like a pretty normal person.
You got magic, though, so you don't care.
Dude, Chester's like the most normal person of all of us.
Chester is pretty normal.
I just honestly, I like.
He's like
to get
really
into-
good of a sword.
I like to get into a good sword fight. That's
Pretty
what
cool
it
dude.
is.
Honestly, pretty cool dude.
Do you
I
say
wish I was
on
good
guard a
at
lot?
sword as you.
So,
Grumble bad.
what's this about your message?
Yeah. To summarize quickly, Harrigan's trying to kill us and our islands, so we're looking for the allies, and we figured getting some under the water folk, sea people, to help us fight an ship armada would be really useful, because
There certainly are those that live under the water that would be helpful and would be perhaps willing to help.
I assume Harrigan's probably pissed off some people from under the ocean. You know? It's like a bad dude.
That is not something that I can easily answer, and it would be up for those that you would communicate with. I had been considering, actually, in fact, having you get in contact with some associates of mine. Hearing what you said at the Island of Empty Eyes and seeing your relation with aquatic species is something that reassured me that you are reasonable fellows to have communications and deals with, certainly. I have been looking for folks like yourselves that can be a bit more reasonable, and I myself am a product of the sea and land. Quite obvious from my heritage. And I have been working towards... Let me put it this way. Finding allies that could help with connecting with the people of the sea that I know, and the people of the land.
Yeah, honestly, we're willing to like work with everything as long as like they're willing to work with us, you know.
I had contacted my father about your existence as new members of the councils and individuals that are more prone to working together with exotic or more exotic species, like those that would live under the water. He did express interest in having a meeting with you. Perhaps if you're looking for some allies or some information from something like the Sea Elves, I can arrange that. My father is one of the, well, more important individuals within the city he comes from.
No. So I walk up to the captain and Myste because she's like more grounded, and I go, hey, this might be a bad time, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be interested in exploring more of the getting to know some of the underwater sea races. I'm actually looking for somebody, my mother in particular, and I believe she's a sea elf, which I think I'm half sea elf. So, but if I don't know, I don't want to detract from what we're doing here with the captain, but I figured maybe I can like ask now.
You can say something now. If you say something now about it, Mace will kind of respond to you like, I was unaware that you were not in contact with your sea elf relative. You had mentioned nothing, so.
Yeah, I'm not. I typically don't mention anything unless it like happens to come across. But I mean, one in.
He'll kind of shake his head and kind of put his arm on your shoulder and say, like, we are both children of land and sea. Though we have taken different paths, I can see that you still also have the same interest that I had. I took my journey. I learned my abilities as a druid to change into the creatures that allowed me to travel deep into the ocean, where my people were, where our people were. And, if you seek that connection, I can assist you. I can when my father would meet with you, there would be a chance that I can arrange for him to help look for your parent.
I would very much be honored if you were to help me with that. I don't need anything too out of the way or in depth or anything like that. Just introductory introductions would be great if you wouldn't mind.
Then perhaps now we can make a base deal. Something that, information that I know thanks to my father, that'd be relevant to you. And this information also might mean that the sea elves, at very least, might be willing to offer some help. Whether or not you can call on Tritons or Lokatha, that would be entirely different. But if you're willing to assist on something defensive related to your island, then they might be willing to assist.
I mean, I can't speak for the crew or the captain, but that's up to the captain. I would offer my services.
I look at Revia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
If there's any, we'll help out, do things. We kind of need help.
there's
Yeah.
a community of sea
Basically.
elves that is just about 30 miles north of your very island. That way within your ability to control. Would it not? Or to assist if there was an issue?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
they
I
just
mean,
need to,
that's-
pull up to the coast and be like, "You need help."
Yeah. If they're looking for an like some sort of like agreement where like we help
A defensive pact,
Yeah, one of those. If they're looking for that, that sounds pretty cool. I'm up for that.
At first, it was more when I arrived at the island and volunteered to judge you. It was to see if you'd be a threat to that community. But it seemed like rather than a threat, you'd be more of an ally. I can arrange for my father to meet you at that community, if you can find a way down there.
Oh yeah. I got water breathing. Like, how far down is it?
We're generally limited to a few hours, I think.
Well, I could take a couple water breathing spells where we can probably get like almost 24 hours.
Oh well, then we should be fine. All right.
I'd be out of most of my 3rd level spells.
Well, we can
If
talk
it
about
would be beyond your abilities, I'm sure I could convince him to visit you at your island, though it would be a little bit more tension-related.
if
He would
it's
be
gonna be
out of his element. And
What spells do you need to survive in high pressure environments? Was it?
Honestly, if one of you can take Life Bubble, that's probably the best bet.
I have life. Oh, I think I might have it.
Yeah, Life Bubble is the next level up from Water Breathing, and it's the really good one.
Yeah.
It lasts 2 hours per level, so at this point it'd be 22 hours.
Oh, I don't have it. It's just on my spell level.
Yeah.
the radius of it?
Sorcerer Wizard 5. So
Do you have it, Henry?
I do, yeah, but I only have like 3 5th level spells. So if I cast it like before we go to bed, maybe we can laugh.
Well,
No, it's creatures touched up to 1 per level. So it's,
Is it?
you can cast on all of it.
you'd split the
Yeah.
time
Level-
between them. Yeah, but
No, it doesn't. I don't think. Oh, it does. It does. You're
yeah,
right.
it's duration split like other ones, but your
I still think that should be fine. If you need to cast the second one, you can just cast another one while we're under water.
yeah, but Life Bubble protects against pressure. Pressure and indoor elements. It's indoor elements and pressure protection too.
Okay, so, well, actually, we don't have to worry about it. We need it for the pressure part, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we need it for?
Mostly, and also it's water breathing too. It's honestly it's you'd have
Yeah, but
breathing.
that's not the water breathing part is the.
I mean,
is
like
the least-
it's cold down there too, so the indoor elements isn't bad to have also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
neat because
Oh yeah, those are all. Yeah, it's just that's a short time.
I mean, it's possible they also have structures down there,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
might
structures.
have.
I'll ask it. Is there like once we get down there, will there be a place for us to like, be out of the water or
A
unpressurized?
a location for a meeting could perhaps be arranged.
Yeah, that would be really helpful in case like it takes us too long to get down there and we don't have the spells to get back up.
My father would be your best bet for not only seeing about an allyship with the Sea Elves, but with many of the other allied races under the sea. He has contacts with both the nearby Tritons and I never say their name right. Katha of the Fever Sea. Triton communities are farther off, but they are perhaps within, influence. So you might have been able to catch Triton if you had used your horn. But I would have rolled a percentage and it would have been pretty low.
Hey, we're going back that way, so, maybe we can stop by, blow it, and maybe someone pops up.
I mean, he also just said, hey, my powerful CL father can also just,
Yeah, I feel like that's the cooler dude,
I think we just do that.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want to try to ride by horning?
No, we're not going to horn them. We're not going to drive. This isn't our first date where we drive up and blow the horn out instead of getting out to knock them in the...
Does it play La Cucaracha?
No.
So yeah,
it makes sea animals afraid or banishes water elementals.
Yeah.
It does a couple.
You never know. La Cucaracha might do that.
If we can set up something in the future with your dad, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah.
Again, I will see what I can arrange as best as possible. But I will send a message to him. I would head for your island, then. It shouldn't take him long to arrange a meeting. I will send you within a few... within the week. We should have plenty of time to head back to your island. The time of the meeting. I shall be able to arrange.
We'll be there in a couple.
It doesn't take us too long to get back there now.
No. But he just said within the week because he does not
chill there. We got an island to chill.
We go at we are at 79 nautical miles.
We could see how
per day.
things are doing. Talk to the boat captains.
I guess check in on
Which is
what
90 miles.
Yeah. There's a dude named the Eel we could go talk to.
Yeah.
Checking out on what, Chester?
That's who I meant, the eel.
Go see your good buddies Ambrose,
Yeah.
Definitely check in with the eel.
And then we can go prepare, and then once we meet them, we can go prepare to go to the island.
Sandra might be there to talk as well. She kind of disappeared.
Yeah, she might
for a
be
little
back,
bit.
yeah.
In worst case, the thing is, the last thing we want to do is the sword, because the sword we could miss if something else goes wrong and it takes us too long to finish this task and we have to get back to fight Harrigan. Not having the sword isn't going to be it.
Yeah, sword's kind of whatever.
Yeah. All right. You can head back to the Island of Empty Eyes, and I will tell you there will be a mysterious fleet there to greet you. And aboard said fleet, you will be hailed, of course, by a familiar-looking woman. It will be Sandra. She will have 5 warships, servants of Besmara, that she gathered together. During her pilgrimage to Besmara throne, she was able to take an important test of the church and finds herself as now officially a high priestess of Besmara. And using her position, called upon a squadron of warships to your aid.
I didn't get to do a test when I went there.
Yeah, I look over at Revia and I say, when do you do your test?
They didn't, I was there. They didn't.
You get to do yours, Revia.
Well, I must be like the most powerful Warpriest at this point, but no one cares about fucking me. Always the players.
Sandra's gonna come over to you, put like her hand on your shoulder, and say like, Besmara cares about you.
That's not true. She only gets mad at me.
That's
She
beautiful.
never
That's why she's the high priestess and you're the low
He knows
priestess.
the right words, yes.
I'm a
You're not even
Warpriest.
meeting
I
priestess.
kill things really good.
Yeah, high priest.
God,
Well,
really
I
well.
would agree, Sandra.
this is unfair.
Really well.
I'm gonna go back there one day and I'll take my test. I'll
And
beat all of them in single combat. How about that?
Sure you will.
Anyway.
Yeah, the Sandra will get many free drinks.
Mhm.
And all right, so we have a decent amount of ships now.
I mean, she's also technically been gone for like, I guess, quite a while because she left a while ago too. So like,
She did.
Should catch her up on stuff, you know?
yeah. Certainly you can do that and catch her up. I'm going to say, because it's happening and it's interesting, is a few days after you've been there, a familiar-looking ship will pull into port.
What ship?
It's a small one-mast ship that you just were in at the beginning of the session.
The Grand Dragon's here.
It's been like 5 days.
You got bored. She wants to come to crash on your couch.
Yeah, cool.
See, actually, that's what she was gonna do. If you
Come to
had,
crash on that couch.
if you had been a lot longer, she would have been here first. But since you went this direction, she just shows up while you're here. It's like, oh, you're here.
Like, there's like an extra beds, so you could take some. I guess.
They're moving in.
At least our island's forever safe now.
True.
I mean, they might
Things
just
go horribly
leave.
wrong.
If something goes horribly wrong, they might get involved. But they might just also leave, because honestly, you know.
They might not give a shit.
True. They probably would. They're just freeloaders.
They are just freeloaders. They're powerful
Fucking
freeloaders. They
This is
are.
what- this is the problem with dragons, guys. They just take our money. They never do anything.
Yeah, just take your money and then just give you the
Their
runaround.
food. They don't even say thank you, and then they just leave.
Just keep him away from anyone you don't want to be seduced either.
Don't tell this Yaalkol he's got enough.
Hey man, at least Rio's safe. You know, he's not into women. Or shape
man.
changers of any kind.
Yeah, but he can change his.
Well, Rio.
Grandpappy
Yeah,
can
but
change
Rio
their
can
sex.
change.
I don't know if people are exactly into a giant fox person either.
It is
Hey.
peculiar.
You never
It
know.
would be.
Quentin
the,
was.
the dragon likes to experiment.
But, oh,
I was gonna say, like, he's pretty foxy.
You know, we disallow the dragon from doing anything with any of our crew members on principle.
I don't know if you could stop. horny
You know, we
sailors.
tell the crew not to because we don't. It's really weird for a crew member to be in a relationship with Yaalkol's Grand Dragon. Okay, it's a little strange.
You're just telling the crew that that's like you close Grand
I know,
Dragon.
stop.
They're like,
Don't-
You don't tell them that at all.
Don't
Just
bang
don't
your
tell
captain's
Just don't tell the
Grand
crew.
Dragon.
Just don't tell the crew that.
You could just
don't
go
wanna
to
deal with that.
you could go to the crew and be like, okay, look,
If it's
that
Rio, I'm
person
fine,
is
but-
related to Yaalkol.
No, we don't. We don't say any of that.
Don't
So
bang them.
we just let it happen. We don't care. Who cares?
Dude, you don't want to have gilfs, dude. It's not cool.
Christ.
I don't know. Some of them might be into ancient super dragons.
I mean,
Keep
I don't
Quentin
know,
away
dude.
from her.
Just keep quitting away. Yeah.
Yeah, keep Quentin away.
Quentin's already
lock
on
him up
the
somewhere.
Quentin's on the other ship before we can even like
Yeah,
tell.
he's already
Keep
gone.
Quentin away. He's already gone. He's already done it.
Anyway. So yeah. You had your other things you wanted to do here now that you've arrived. What do you
I
want
guess
to
we're just shoring up defenses and
Yeah.
seeing if the eel has got any information for us, like we paid him.
Yes. So the eel will have some information. I have to go to where the information he's been able to find out.
I was gonna say he'd better, because we paid him a decent chunk.
Yes. I've been able to find a few things out that might be of certain assistance here. You had some of this information before, but he can confirm the current size of the fleet that Harrigan is bringing about him. The current one that he has. It seems as though he has the possibility of arranging a few other allies. But Wardux Ganderwall and his Duskworm Squadron 6 warships is coming in. Deleri Listervel of the Zura's Kiss Squadron with 7 sailing ships. And Lisk Whitecap Viceroy with 5 galleys in the Reef Spider Squadron.
Can you name this again? Sorry, so I can write this down.
I'll put them in chat in a minute.
I think we already have these names in the notes.
You
We got
might
the names. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have the number of ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Werdusk is bringing 6 warships. Delari's bringing 7 sailing ships. And Lisk is bringing 5 galleys. Also, there is, where is that? It seems as though, he's attempting to call upon some aid. Theo will confess you. It seems as though he is trying to bring about a little bit of aid. I'd say indirectly from Chelix. This is the kind of thing that doesn't really scream too much of evidence of Chelaxian connections, unfortunately, as the group is known to be affiliated with Chelax, but not directly under Chelix military control.
They wouldn't want a direct hand in something like this.
Well, from what I can hear, your decision to tighten security in the Shackles has caused a few issues with Chelaxian spies. Turns out most of them are clearing out. You did a good thing, you and the Council did a good thing, basically shutting them down. I don't know
But they also made us not friends.
Well, seems like if there would have been direct military support, which again, we don't know, any of that's been kind of cut. That's good. So, but, well, there's a merchant association. He's attempting to basically get a squadron from them. Maybe 7 more sailing ships if he can arrange it. Currently, no, he hasn't been able to manage it, but that would be a big number more ships. Currently, it seems like whatever you guys have been assembling feels like a little bit of a match right now. But if he can get this support, he'll have the numbers for sure.
Well, I may have someone in Chelix who can stop the merchants from sending anything. Do you still have contacts there?
I'd try to use them. If they can convince them not to join in this, it would certainly give you a chance to even things out even more. open. So,
And no, we weren't able to collect anything that confirms his associations with Chilix.
his association with Chelix is kind of hard to nail down. We know that he's been making deals with certainly someone in Chelix. It's kind of easy to determine. But I can't tell if it's a higher up or maybe that, like, he's getting bribed by a certain Chelix merchant group, like the one that's working for him, in order to prey on their opponent's ships and not their own, kind of thing. He attacks Chelixian ships, but, you know, just don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to the entire attack pattern. Haven't been able to find that out, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think...
Okay, and Misty, you think you can...
Sorry.
And Misty, you think you can somehow stop them from working with him?
My sister's a powerful merchant.
Sounds good. And the last thing you wanted to say, Eel?
I was going to say, unfortunately, but have you had any opportunities to figure out where he's based out of?
Don't we know the island?
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? The
Which island was it?
Gannett Island is Harrigan's. We have the knowledge of some of the monsters and the rooms.
Which Garnet Island is, in fact, north of Shark Island, so you know where that is on the map.
And they have the Lucaria, an evil cleric of evil god, and then Gilbrock the Tongue. He's a male sea witch.
I hate that.
Where is that?
Up there.
If you can actually... Are you sure Lucaria is there?
Well, the last information we got confirmed that the evil cleric, Lucaria, is there. She has like the cultists with her. Leads a weird thing on that island.
I know the name Lucaria from some of my looking. Lucaria is at least... I don't know if it's the same one, but there was a Lucaria that was known to be a associate of one of the Thrun family. Druvalia Thrun.
Is that a name I know?
Let me check if you know Druvalia Thrun. Druvalia Thrun. You very well might.
Yeah, looking at that title.
Oh boy.
I feel like that might just be a commonly known Chelix thing.
Well, Thrun definitely would be. Thrun
Yeah.
is the royal family of Chelix.
Thrun, absolutely.
Yeah. Give me a local check. It's not a high
Local?
difficulty. Yeah. You'll have a bonus to it, too.
28.
Oh, your 28 is, well, more than enough. Jacob, you'll know this, too. Admiral Druvalia Thrun of the Imperial Navy of Chelix is one of the top admirals in all of the Shalaxian Navy, and is the cousin of the Queen.
Ah, so the cousin of the Queen is involved with that one, huh?
Well,
That's pretty damning.
Yikes.
Not necessarily. Plenty of people have contacts without other people knowing.
it's true. But if this Lucaria is indeed connected, it would mean that either Harrigan could... This Lucaria might have evidence of his connections. It's one of those things that I was thinking of. Going to war between pirates is a dangerous thing. As much as I try to keep out of that kind of thing, I've been certainly hired on by Harrigan and others to do some dirty jobs, as you remember before. And working for you is a really good retirement plan, honestly. At this point in time, get out of a lot of this business. But certainly, when pirates go to war, it's not pretty, and there can be some after effects between other pirates. If you could find some real evidence, and the Lucaria, maybe you could get something from her directly or indirectly, that might be some evidence that would support it. She's a good connection to the Thrun family, and certainly, if she knows the Admiral, she also might be the one that's connecting in things like the merchant families and stuff, too.
Well, we can certainly try to acquire them once we land on his base after we defeat his fleets. What was the god that this
Norgorber.
I said evil god, but I couldn't spell it.
Mm-hmm.
Nor.
Norgorber.
I think I spelled it right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I spelled it wrong. I did O-B-O-R. Okay. What is he the god of?
Secrets, right? Or
Yes.
lies, I think it.
He's like the god of murder, I think.
It is the...
Oh wait, is he the god of the people on the Halfling Island?
He is the god of the people in the Halfling Island.
Oh shit, maybe they know about her.
The thing is, if you had a secret you could trade, they might know something about her, too, if she
We
isn't.
have a lot of... We have a really big secret.
What secret would be worth? Oh, we have a big one?
The ruin.
Oh
It's
shit,
Mighty
true.
Ruin. That's maybe the biggest secret we have.
That's a good tool. We tried that. Let's go. Let's do it. That's huge. That's actually massive. Alright, I'm gonna note that on my notes so we can do that after we handle the fish.
Specifically, the Aslanti Ruin and how to get to the island safely. Just so we know.
Yeah.
Look, your best bet is probably going to be when the fleet attacks, honestly. From what I can tell, Harrigan's not sending any major amount of ships that he controls into it, except for one. The Wormwood. And
We want that.
from what I heard, he's not planning on going himself.
Of course not.
He's putting his
Coward.
first mate in charge.
Of course.
Well, it just means after we're done sinking his fleet to the bottom of the sea, we'll have to go find him and hunt him down like the rat he is. Alright.
Well,
Well,
if you can manage to capture the Wormwood.
we want to try.
The thing is, I would also suggesting capture, though you know the location, capture a few of these crew.
Mm-hmm. I can make them talk.
You found out
We
some
will
of this information from the previous first mate, right? Current one's got to know about what's going on at that location.
Yeah.
We'll capture all to surrender. That's our rule. We don't kill surrendering people. I look at Jacub very sternly.
Alright, I get it. Even if they're slavers and somehow it's surrender because they don't want to fight because they're all of a sudden they don't want to do anything else, I won't kill them, I promise.
I look at you and I say, there is only one exception to all rules.
What's that?
Slavers always die.
Live free or
We can
die.
talk about this later.
This is conversation for later, yes.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Neil.
Glad my information could be of help. And that our deal continues.
Yeah. Me too.
Thanks, Eel. Did you still want to live in this cave?
Honestly, I'll stick around until after we see what happens with the entire battle. I'm well hidden here, and if things go south, I can always slip away. But if you're successful, well, then I can also slip away and leave. What's my job?
And retire. Leave to a comfy island of your own.
Either way, so it's been nice knowing you. Bye.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
We leave. He's weird.
Yeah,
No one really likes him.
it's fine.
Well, I mean, he did try to attack us.
He's horribly evil.
Yes.
Yeah. We are all aware that he's only here because we beat his. We defeated him. If we had, if he had killed us, that would have just been it. You know.
Well, yeah.
Murder bastard. Yaalkol hasn't forgotten.
Yaalkol will remember this.
He talked to one of the only reasonable people that would have been willing to make a deal. Saved his life.
It's true.
Yeah, Cools never forget.
Basically.
Yaalkol might forget.
Kill.
I'll probably forget, but I just won't forget. So if somebody reminds me, I'll get mad again.
He's like, yeah, I hate that person.
Yeah. So so we're back on the island. Are we gonna do the meet with the tridents? It's almost
It's like cut-off time, so we could do the meeting with the sea elf. With I'll put his name in chat, so I don't have to like look it up. You're going to be meeting with Devrel, which is Mace Darmar's father, who's one of the elders of a sea elf city in the Fevered Sea, an actual city. Yeah.
Is that an effective pressure bubble?
I have no idea. It's just described as a deep sea city that required Mace to master his wild shape in order to find the city of the Aquelves. He's actually on really good terms with his half-elf son. As like when he's like, "My son came and found me. I greet you with open arms. You know, welcome to the city. See my people. Keep in touch. You know," which is actually really nice. I really like this about his backstory. That his father's like a really good dude about this. You know, because elves can be dicks.
The Black Elves are amphibious, so they might have areas of air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, I would also take the opportunity just to update Ambrose.
I think Rio might show back up at some point too.
Did we already have a Nat move on into the island? Because if not, we can have Rio arrive with a moving in Nat or something.
I don't think Nat's here.
We were talking about having
I
Nat
don't
move
think
into
so.
the island, because then it'd be convenient to have shop here, weren't we?
It's light. I don't know if Nat wants to. This thing.
This place kind of sucks in comparison
This
to
place
Curtov.
does.
We talked about it a little bit, but I don't know if we ever decided, because there
I
was...
think she may have wanted to open up a shop here eventually.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know if there was a confirming for that kind of thing and figuring it out. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We can leave off here, because honestly, that's a pretty good spot to leave it off. You know, we've completed important stuff with Yaalkol's father. You know, or not grandfather. Well, we learned information about Yaalkol's father and Grand Dragon. Hey, Jacob's looking in. Was it your mother or father with a sea elf?
Mother.
Your mother. So you're gonna have a chance to look into where'd my mom go? You know?
Is my mom in this one area?
Yeah.
Are you my mom?
It's like, hey.
Oh my god. He's like God in fantasy guy.
Yeah.
I do love that the majority of us have deeply troubled family issues, and then out of nowhere, your character Revia has just like a nice
chillest-
relationship with mom and dad.
She has decent parents too. They're just Intellics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're in
I just
Chalice, they're
can't
not
kill
decent.
parents.
Well, they're Parisians.
So
So they choose to
don't-
be in Chalice.
I mean,
Normal childhood, so...
I mean, like Chelix is a pretty bad place, but there's a lot of just normal people
There's
that
just
live
normal
in Chelix.
people in Chelix.
I know, I'm just
Myste
kidding.
is probably the example of maybe one of the worst individuals of Chelix culture. Being part of the Asmodean Church and a high-ranking member.
Chelix is just not a good
hilarious,
nation.
No, but
Specifically,
like,
it's a lawful evil nation.
but yeah. So like, if
Yeah.
most people just put their heads down and just get along with it, then they don't really have problems, you know.
Yeah, you don't expect peasants and commoners to like, rise up against powerful people.
Good luck, 'cause
Especially since they
Althruin
have
has,
like high level magic.
Althruin also has devil protectors, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're just
there's a
You can't
reason
really-
there's a reason they won the Civil War.
yeah. It's just like, you can't help it sometimes.
Like the Thrun family has like Baelor generals at its
Yeah.
whole, like 2 Baelor generals that are
Yeah.
supposed to be the advisors to the queen directly from Asmodeus.
Yeah.
But the queen is so influential, she's actually got them to be more like tutors for herself and her family, to be like, teach us more horrible devil magic. And they're like, okay.
I assume you don't mean a Baylor. Those are
Not Baelor,
Fiends.
Pit Fiends? Pit Fiends is
Fiends,
it.
yeah.
I never remember which is which because they're
Yeah.
just weirdly named. Because Pit Fiend makes me think more of the Abyss because the infinite layers, even though it's meant to be like the pit for like for the hells, you know.
Yeah.
It just that
Yeah.
always throws me off.
The line
Baylor's a
between,
demon.
the line between devil and demon gets blurred in terminology sometimes.
Their names are dumb.
Because
Sometimes.
they're pretty similar in ability.
this
a lot
all
of the
just-
time.
Comes back to like second edition, I think, is when it
Yes.
is like yeah, that's weird shit.
More or less.
Pathfinder
God,
gives me more of a headache because they introduced like 20, like 13 more evil undead subtypes or not evil, like evil outsider subtypes. I mean,
Guys, Baylors just come with +1 Vorpal longswords and +1 Vorpal
Yeah.
whips.
Take it down easily, you know?
They
Right.
just kill, they rolled that 20 on you, you just died.
Yeah. Let's be real.
goddamn
That's
get,
fucking
True.
insane, dude.
fucking outsiders. God damn it. Was it
You just die, yeah. Vorpal weapons are scary.
Daemons, Demodans, demons, devils, divs? I'm just
Like,
And
you
they-
always have banishment prepped.
I'm just listing a few of the annoying list of like, this is a subtype of evil outsider. In Evil
Yeah.
Outsider X, introduce it. Anyway.
Oh, Baylors just have at-will power word stun.
Yeah.
Pitfiends are also just really horrible
yeah, it's
too.
like, you said it's like a
They're
problem.
Seroton.
You know? It's easy kill.
Yeah.
We would just die.
Power word stun, Vorpal your head off.
Yeah.
They have to roll 20.
That
They
is
have to roll
the-
20, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, it's only a 5% chance, and then they have to critically confirm. Oh, what's the plus to hit bonus? Okay.
It's the okay. Everyone likes to forget. Outsiders are the most powerful thing because
I
they
will
have
say,
the
though-
best goddamn hit dice next to
I will
dragons.
say, though, at only plus 31, by, like, that level you're fighting CR20s, you'll have way more AC than that.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
By way more, I mean, like, they'll have, like, a 50% chance of killing you instantly.
yeah. But that's why they stun you first after hitting
You'll
you for
be
a
in the
bunch of times.
40s.
Yeah.
Well,
They beat
if
you up a
you're a
little
fighter-
bit, and then
with power words done, 100 on 1 to 150 hit points. Goodbye. 1d4 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power words sound scary,
Anyways.
guys. Fun fact.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll leave it for today. Let's give some shout outs. Very nice. Erik, one more shout out.
Nothing here. Watch the other shows. Watch the discussing tabletop. Have a good life.
Henry, you want to shout out thing?
Ooh, I just want to say thanks to everyone that tunes in to Tantus for running this game. Chester for being the voice of reason in this weird party. And, tune in next time. Thanks.
Momo?
Hi. I've been awake for 21 hours, and you can catch me on Discussing Tabletop, where I have objectively correct opinions.
This is true.
They're very good opinions. Sal?
No, I'm living, half dying, still alive.
those are good things. Alive-ish.
Well,
Alive
Yeah,
enough.
listen,
being
You know-
half alive is like not as good.
Mm.
you don't live a full life till you graduate university.
Sure, you're not
so,
a person yet.
yeah, I'm still not a person. I haven't earned my
I
personship.
promise you, it doesn't get better.
I know. Well, they never say about better. At least you you stabilize into
Well,
normal.
you say that.
All right, homie.
To a different normal.
I'm sorry. I hate to be the one that have to break it to you.
Hey,
they
look.
lie to you a lot.
Man.
Let me tell you,
It's better- it's better than
8 years out of
changing your s-
university. No
it's-
one's explained it to me yet.
It's better than changing your schedule every semester.
I mean, that's fair.
That's at least true.
That's fair.
Like you have a
Consistency is
semi-consistent
nice.
schedule. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by
Yeah.
consistency. Okay,
That's
that's
fair.
what I'm saying. It's it's about the consistency.
I'm more
of the
just memeing, anyways.
Yeah. Fuck you, Eric.
Anyway, and Joe, you want to show throw out anything there?
He's dead.
I feel that, dude.
Anyway, for myself, Tantus Narvan Dracovin, you can find me here a bunch of days during the week. If you want to check me out, I'm going to do a gaming stream on Friday, probably Shadows of Loathing, of course, discussing tabletop as mentioned. That'll be in the morning, usually between 10 and 11 I start on that. Saturday at 6 p.m. in the evening for discussing tabletop. And depending on if I can get some stuff arranged, I have said that I'm going to try to get some more tabletop-related content streams, which I'll probably try to throw on Tuesdays and Thursdays occasionally. I've got some ideas for some things which would be really fun to do, and some stuff that I could do that are stream-related, and I'm going to do some of those at some point in time to, have some good adventures with everybody, So expect those in the future. Those will be wonderful. Anyway, I hope everybody's had a good day, honestly. Hope you enjoyed the show. A lot of crazy stuff happened, as usual. And I got some more interesting discussions with a sea elf, and I'm possibly going to a tower soon. So we'll see about checking those out. Anyway, until that time in the future, and next time we meet, and this show next week, farewell, everybody. Goodbye. So long. Oh, and
Bye.
I do want to give a shout out to... How do you do that shout out?
I have no idea. I don't know how to mod.
I'm just a pathetic individual.
Is that?
I don't-
It's just I rarely know how to mod.
I don't know how Twitch works.
If you've been here before, check out. We get a raid from Zero Doxy. Go check out her out. I'll just I don't know how to link people in the chat. I gotta learn.
It's just
how to do this.
raid is just /raid.
No,
type in
she
chat.
raided.
Oh.
So I want to throw like a shout out kind of thing.
I have no idea. I don't know how Twitch works.
Oh, that's it. You need to have
to a
you
real
need to
one.
get a bot. If you get a
Shout
bot,
out for the one time. Shout out for the 2 time. We did it,
Yeah.
guys.
God,
I did it for you.
thank you. Go check her out if you're not part of the raid and we're just here checking out. Go check her out. And if you're part of the raid, thank you for coming in, Raiders. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of the show here. Anyway, bye everybody.
Bye.